guys, so I have a weekend update regarding stimulus negotiations and all the chaos surrounding unemployment and the eviction moratorium. As you know, many of the protections that were in the CARES Act expired within the last 2 weeks. So, Joe et al., on Saturday, President Donald Trump signed multiple executive actions one day after stimulus negotiations fell apart in Congress. Now, Congress was hoping to pass a second stimulus package by Friday, August 7th, but obviously that didn't happen, and negotiations will continue this upcoming week. So on Saturday, the president signed a memorandum that is supposed to provide $400 a week for additional unemployment insurance benefits, down from the $600 benefit that expired July 31st. He signed an executive order that would extend a moratorium on evictions, in addition to a memorandum that would provide deferments for student loan payments and create a payroll tax for those making less than $100,000 a year. Alright, so after signing the order this weekend, he stated, and I quote, "Through these 4 actions, my administration will provide immediate and vital relief to Americans struggling in this difficult time." Before I go into further details regarding this recent development, welcome back, Joe et al. If you're new to the channel, thank you for joining us. We focus on finance, real estate, and other life-related content. Consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell, as I'm posting valuable new content at least twice a week. So, Joe et al., it should be interesting to see what happens next week regarding these executive orders. Comment below whether or not you think he has the legal authority to enforce these actions. Alright, so for now, it remains unclear what legal authority Trump has to enforce these actions. President Trump stated that the $400 unemployment benefit, which Democrats had insisted remain at $600, he called it, quote, generous. Now, when he was asked about the decrease being a hardship, he stated not only is it generous, but that it gives people an incentive to return to work. Now, what's interesting, guys, is that the payroll tax cut was proposed by Republicans and Democrats. When Trump was asked about the payroll tax holiday, which again was opposed by both parties because it doesn't help the unemployed, Trump responded and said, and I quote, "It helps people greatly, it helps our country get back, and anybody that would say anything different, I think is very foolish." Once again, guys, this idea was rejected by both parties during negotiations for the first stimulus bill over concerns that it would negatively impact Social Security and Medicare funding while not benefiting retired people or those who are unemployed. The executive orders do not include another round of $1,200 stimulus checks. Trump said that the order allows employers to, quote, defer payment of the employee's portion of the payroll tax for workers making less than $100,000 per year, and it's retroactive starting August 1st until the end of this year. Now, Trump did state that he will make permanent cuts to payroll taxes if he's really elected for his second term. Now, the order regarding the eviction moratorium, Trump stated it would make sure renters and homeowners can stay in their home. However, the actual text of the order does not immediately extend a moratorium on evictions for renters living in homes with federally backed mortgages, which also expired 2 weeks ago. Instead, the order says that the Secretary of Health and Human Services, as well as the Director of the CDC, and I quote, shall consider whether any measures temporarily halting residential evictions are reasonably necessary to prevent the further spread of COVID-19 from one state or possession into any other state or possession. So again, one of the other executive orders calls for automatic forbearance for federal student loans under the CARES Act, set to end on September 30th. It would extend this until the end of the year, but this doesn't apply to private loans. Now, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer criticized the president's decision to sign the executive actions in a statement Saturday evening. In a statement, the Democratic leader said, "Today's meager announcement by the president shows President Trump still does not comprehend the seriousness or the urgency of the health and economic crisis facing working families. We're disappointed that instead of putting in the work to solve Americans' problems, the president instead chose to stay on his luxury golf course to announce unworkable, weak, and narrow policy announcements to slash the unemployment benefits that millions desperately need and endanger seniors' Social Security and Medicare." All right, Joe et al., so there you have it, an update regarding Trump's executive orders over the weekend. Next week is definitely going to be interesting as lawmakers continue to try to reach an agreement for a second stimulus package, and I'm sure these executive orders will be challenged on legality purposes. Now, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 1 of our United States Constitution states that the Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excises, to pay the debts and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States, but all duties, imposts, and excises shall be uniform throughout the United States. Alright guys, so this has typically been interpreted to mean that only Congress has the power to authorize spending and appropriate funds. With that being said, guys, we can anticipate a power struggle between the legislative branch and the president, which is the executive branch. So what are you guys' thoughts about the executive orders and the overall status of stimulus negotiations? Leave your feedback in the comments section. If you found value in the video, please be sure to hit that like button and share this on your social media platforms. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell as I'm posting valuable new content at least twice a week. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.